You're such an asshole.
I was paid $200 to try meditating 5 minutes twice a day. I got very serious about it. I'll read his email. That's what happened. Cappy, you got paid $200 to, like, yeah. And it was a chore. Yes, it's not equivalent. Hey, it's not pouring concrete. You're right. But sit here and do nothing for 5 minutes twice a day. I even had to go 8 days because I missed a day. Only did one. The guy paid good money, so I wanted to give it an honest shake, an honest shot, and I'm really bad at it. Aaron, my name is Arthur Drum. I'm sending you this request because, like you, I was raised in a religious household environment and was exposed to blatant hypocrisy, which my intellect could not handle. This caused me to become an atheist in my early teens. I then pursued science and truth as my guiding principles and way of being in the world. I mocked the ridiculous but magical beliefs of the religious people around me and the obvious inconsistencies. And like, wait a minute, are you saying the goody two-shoe Christian people lie, cheat, steal, and fuck other people than their spouses, and then also have the added lies? I'm a Christian. Are you saying, sir, how dare you, sir? That's why Christian couples are so happy, because they follow their own rules, right? Deep inside me, there has always been a guiding energy pushing myself towards higher truth, deeper meaning, and deeper understanding of myself. I dove into science and philosophy. I sought to understand my physical limits through high-level rock climbing and distance running. I became an ER registered nurse. The more that I pushed myself mentally and physically, the more that a sense of peace became a ruler of my life. Paradoxically, the more that I individuated as a person, the more I began to realize that everything that I was defining myself by was ultimately an illusion. Example, I was not always a rock climber and will not always be a rock climber. So that's not really who I am. Ultimately, anything external that we define ourselves as is not really who we are, because it is always temporary. The one thing that anyone can say for certain is that I am the awareness of being itself. This shift in perceiving myself naturally drew me to discovering meditation. It was meditation that led me to the realization that the source of all peace and happiness is inside of me. I found that the process of consciously sitting down, closing my eyes, I'm not good at that, breathing deep, and being the silent witness of whatever comes up to be utterly transformational. I'm not joking. I'm taking him 100% serious. I believe him 100%. Also, if you guys want, go get The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. TFM talks about meditation. These guys are way better at it than me. I do not believe what they are saying. I believe what they are saying. A silent witness of whatever comes up to be utterly transformational. I realized that what Jesus taught was true and that his fundamental teaching was denied by the church. That teaching being, go fuck other people and be complete assholes to everyone else while having the sanctimonious air of being superior to everyone. Wait, is that not what it was? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about students who go to Bethel University in Minnesota. That's what I'm sorry. I got confused. Are we Lutherans? Oh, yeah, that's them. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and that we should seek first the kingdom. There exists within each and every one of us a well of peace that we can access anytime if we would but stop, breathe deep, and simply become aware of the fact that we exist in this present moment and hold on to that awareness. That is so hard. I know I got to practice it. For me anyway. I do not doubt it for a second, but holy cow. I have never heard you say that you meditate, Cappy. So instead of asking you to abstract for me, I'm asking you to not think. I challenge you to turn off that razor sharp mind of yours, and sit down with a straight spine twice a day and meditate for 5 minutes at a time for 1 week. See what happens. You might find that you have more peace and think even more clearly. Thanks for all you do. There isn't a higher calling than the dissemination of truth and the betterment of our fellow man. P.S. I live, I don't want to necessarily I have a YouTube channel dedicated to canyoneering through East Tennessee mountain creeks. How I don't, you don't have to answer, but I'm kind of curious how I'm spoiled. When I think canyons, I think Utah, 1,000 feet straight up, whereas the Smoky Mountains are a little bit more. I mean, they more valleys than I'd imagine creeks. Thought you might enjoy watching some of the content. I have his channel linked below if you guys want to see that. Chattanooga has some amazing hiking trails as well. We've got the Cumberland Trail and the AT's Appalachian Trail is an hour away. If you ever visit Chattanooga, you're always welcome to stay at the guest bedroom. $200 made this money. Thank you. More than enough. And this message bless your life in perfect ways. And so I have his channel linked there. If you want to go. Yeah, I'll put this in the traveling folder. So, all right. Now, I wanted to do this guy justice because he wrote a very sincere email. And then also he paid me a lot of money. So what I did is I tried it your way, right? Close your eyes, spine straight up, focus on the nothingness, right? Just let whatever happened to you. And the first several times, as it was the last several times, my brain would immediately, I'd focus on the nothingness and just, listen to the wind or whatever. I'm not joking. It would last at most 15 seconds. And then my brain is off to something else. Usually work related, usually and I was talking to the GF about this. She's like, well, you just think about what you want. It's like, you don't understand. My job, I have the tremendous blessing where my job is I'm paid to think and talk about what I enjoy, what interests me. Whereas, like, let's say you're an accountant or a mechanic, you don't want to think about being a mechanic. You don't want to think about taxes, right? You just naturally won't think, and you'll think about more loftier things. What if your job was to think of the lofty things or come up with observations about humanity, right? You got to get out of that. And so and the nature, you guys, you kind of don't see the back of it, but I got my to-do list. I got my phone here with when I'm hiking, I'll stop and take notes. The brain is always going. Now, I know that's a function of me. I know that's specific to me and other people who might have extreme type A personalities. It's also another reason why I drank. I also understand why people like Chad and everyone take a toke every once in a while. I get it, but I try to do it this way. And that was all 7 days, 8, what would that be? 15 instances because I missed one. That was the major failure in all of them. And trust me, I tried to not just think of nothing. Just experience the wind and what you hear and the motorcycles driving by or whatever. The cicadas, the birds. Not more. If I was lucky, it was 15 seconds. And so I just, and then all of a sudden a minute or two had gone by and I'm like, oh shit, I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about Democrats. I'm thinking about, why the crazy lady, no, not the crazy lady. Why does Cracker Barrel lady, why do women always have to have these thick rimmed glasses? I'm aware I have the thick rimmed glasses. This is not my choice. This is the girlfriend's choice. She liked them. So I don't care about my fashion. Well, how are they all MP? I'm thinking again. I'm kind of getting a little worked up. God, I hate those fucking conformist assholes who ruin our brand names in our country. Sometimes it was relaxing. The majority of the time, it was not. It was not. So that was my first observation. So what I realized though, and Turd Flinging Monkey talked about this, when people meditate, sometimes they'll put a candle in front of them and you're to only focus on the candle. I said, okay, so what I need is something to focus on so my mind doesn't. You said have your mind go free and just let whatever flows and thoughts come to you. The GF, who isn't an expert in anything except for accounting, you just gotta let it. It's like, no, my brain, it's on a It's on a slope like this, made of polished, shined marble with oil on top of it. And my mind just slips right into the thinking and philosophy and forecasting stage. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to think of something. I'm going to focus on something else. And so I have wind chimes actually, because I did want to calm down and relax. It was a windy day. Decided, okay, let's practice by the wind chimes. It helped a little, but not a lot, because you hear the wind chimes, you try to focus on the wind chimes, and the brain just bashes through. Like, hey, did you think about this? Did you think about this? About like, hey, you see how whatever the leftists lie to people of different because of this unique way? Oh, maybe I should write it. Oh, yeah, that is a different way. I never thought about that. And now wind chimes could be ringing in my ear next to a tornado. Wouldn't register. But I did have a little bit more success than that. So then I said, okay, well, you visually look at, and that's where I had the most success. And it even got to the point, it depended on the thing, the different things that I looked at. And the I can look into my backyard, which is like trees and prairie, which I've done before, but I think it's because I was familiar with it. My brain would, yeah, we've seen this before. Now on to thinking again. But there were 3 things that I had the most success with. The most successful one was a storm cloud. So, storm cloud had come in, it rained at my place, it continued going east, the sun was setting. So what ended up happening is it was starting to get darker down here, way up in the sky on the backside, the west side of the eastbound storm. You see these big billowing clouds, and they're lit up yellow, gold, and orange. And it was beautiful. And you could slowly see it billowing. And so I just looked and focused on that. That was probably the most successful session I had, and I think I almost had 3 full minutes, but without my brain darting elsewhere. And I knew it was good because the alarm went off, and I was like, "Oh," timed it for 5 minutes. Another one was you drive down a bit, well, there's ranches all over, and we've had a lot of rain, and so there's a lot of hay, and a lot of you people in blue states don't know what this is. So we here in red states do this thing called work, and the farmers were working, and they rounded up their hay bales. They don't just collect government checks and say, shit, I'm amazing. So the hay bales were all rolled up, and you've probably seen pictures of that where you got these big rolls, these cylinders, these giant pucks of hay, and they have yet to go and pick them up. And so I drove out and I just looked at this hay bale field. That was also very nice. That also kind of kept my attention. And then I went hiking. One of my favorite trails is north of town, called Elk River. No, Elk Creek. Elk River is the town in Minnesota. Elk Creek is the trail. And it's a pretty simple trail. It just goes up. There's a creek, and you get to kind of these rapids and waterfalls. And so I went up there and I said, okay, I'm just going to sit and listen to the running creek. That fucking failed. It's not. I said, what if I look at the creek and look at the water? That worked, sort of. Right. I looked at it and I saw it, and then you got to hear it, which was kind of cool. So that was my experience, is that the one main takeaway, a couple main takeaways, I'm really bad at it. And then I need to see something, not hear something. There needs to be something to take my focus also off of, and it has to be visual. Um, overall, though, yes, I made progress. Like I went to a boxing gym first time, and it'd be no different than dance class, boxing gym, meditation, playing a video game for the first time, getting the XY axis thumbs down, right? You don't think you're making progress, but you are. Uh, I'm sure I made progress just finding out, like, yeah, focus on visual stuff. But then I won't lie. Like when I taught dance classes, some people just naturally were gifted. You know, they understood, especially musicians. But then again, they train. But some people could understand beat. Some people couldn't. Some people couldn't just shut up and listen to the words I was trying to tell them and do what I said, and they were in their mind trying to solve a problem. Like, what's my left foot? Some people are not predisposed to meditate. Now, anyone can learn to dance, anyone can learn to box, anyone can learn to meditate. And I'm sure if I hammered down and focused on this, I'd get it and make more progress and achieve, that peace. But it is going to be a long, hard slog. And there's the irony, or not necessarily the contradiction, but the irony is that to meditate and be calm is very frustrating and challenging. So I'd have to kind of more take a hands-off approach. But I'll tell you, I mean, drugs. There you go, drugs. In my case, it was alcohol. Hey, you want to see me calm? You feed me 2 shots of Rumplemans, I'll be nice and calm. But going through this, again, 100% agree with you, 100% believe what you're saying. For some people, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. It'd be a tremendous challenge to me. To the point, like, did I get any benefits from it? Not really, no. Because it was a challenge. It was a chore. It was work. It was like, no, put your brain back. Put your brain back. There was progress. Like, oh, okay, now I know if I were to do it again, I'd look at the clouds or I'd go look at the hay bales. Get my notes here. I gotta pull that up. But I would find what I find to be more relaxing is to just go for a hike. Sometimes I'll sit on my deck and just look at the sunset. Without trying, just I'm going to sit and relax, not meditate, sit and relax. Every once in a while, my mind will drift and not about work related things. But it is definitely, and maybe I'd have to do like a guided meditation, right? Where someone's telling me what to sit and think. Hang on. I swear to God. And I would recommend it to other people, but it is probably not for me. It's probably not for me. And then the final thing, let me pull up because this is a philosophical observation I had. The one thing that anyone could say for certain is that I am the awareness of being itself. This shift in perceiving myself naturally drew me to discover meditation. It was meditation that led me to the realization that the source of all peace and happiness is inside of me. Found that the process of consciously sitting down, closing my eyes, breathing deeply, and being the silent witness to whatever comes up to be utterly transformational. I realized that what Jesus, I guess from your perspective, it's like you just experience what is happening. Maybe I got to focus more on that. That I realized that what Jesus taught was true and that his fundamental teaching was denied by the church, that his teaching being the kingdom of heaven is within you and that we should first seek the kingdom. There exists within each and every one of us a well of peace that we can access anytime if we but stop, breathe deep, and simply become aware of the fact that we exist in this present moment and hold on to that awareness. All right, so again, all true. But when I got to the nothingness and focus the spring within you and just let things happen, it reverted back to an observation. I even had a conversation with a guy I met last night. The guy says, "Why on enough about me?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about me either. I know me." You tell me about you. You're like, "No, I don't." We both had the same, like, if you can like you said, exist and let the environment happen to you, I get it. But if you to think of nothing and on your inner self, and I try to go down this path of, okay, what have I done in life, and what would I like to achieve in life? And already that's too much structure and thought, I think. But it gets to the point that I think everybody is kind of sick of themselves because they're again the most foremost expert on themselves. You should be the most boring person to yourself. And so if you're like, well, let's contemplate the environment and the universe and my life and da da da. Like, nah, I don't care. I've been here. I've been here. My mind wants to focus on other things. Getting in tune with my inner self. Like, no, I'm pretty in tune with my inner self. Okay, here we are again. All right. We got shit to worry about. Let's go. that was kind of my brain. And maybe I if I were to do it again, I got to really focus on just having things happen. But god damn, man, that is hard. That is really hard just to sit. And I came nowhere near to finding the inner peace. I didn't just also like, I'm happy. Holy shit. Sorry, a redhead with big tits and a blowjob and a shot of rumplements will make me. That would make me happy. You want to see a smile on my face? But boy, that's going to be some work. That will definitely be some work. Was it a bad experience? I mean, nothing bad happened to me. I've found out that if I am going to sit and relax and need to chill, I do need to focus on something. But it would be a long haul to get to where I'm just going to sit here in this corner and experience happiness. Um, if anything, I did have a little bit of a successful thought journey. But see, it's thinking, not experiences, so it's already failing. I wanted to focus on how lucky I am. Well, and I also worked hard, but want to appreciate because you work, go, go, go. It's like, dude, can you just sit and actually enjoy and relax? And for 4 years, especially working on the house, like, okay, you got this nice view, but like, oh, I gotta kind of re-slope that creek. I gotta mow. I gotta pull weeds. Um, the shit, what was I gonna go with that? Oh, and in worrying about all the things that have to be done, I don't appreciate. I mean, I do appreciate it, but I don't take time to appreciate it and sit and say, "Wow, holy shit!" Like I should be doing a victory lap, right? Like, holy shit, I get to wake up whenever I want. I get paid to yell at the internet, right? I should be doing backflips. That's never happened. Because when it's like, wow, I can't believe way back in the beginning of Asshole Consultant, like, wow, someone paid. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, people keep paying. That's pretty cool. On the next, yeah, that's great. You got a shift coming up. I got to work on. I got to outline the next book. I think you need, like, if you got kids, I watch true meditative experts would say, it doesn't matter how busy you are, you can always meditate. Like, if you're some surgeon with a family and you're working on a nonprofit as well, like, you don't have the time to think about that stuff. There are things that are going to be banging into your head, no matter how great your life is. But I think you need to have time, and you also need to like, okay, wait, yeah, I really appreciate where I got. I should celebrate what I got. That makes me happy, or at least content. And to get to the point where that's why I want to finish. You all laugh. Want to finish all the projects in the house, and I did. And that it's good timing because otherwise I know I wouldn't have been able to even make what progress I did. I'm like, no, I have to, whatever it was, I have to caulk the cracks in the driveway or whatever. Um, I think you need to get to a certain level above Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So pressing emergency like issues do not penetrate your thought and interrupt your meditation. So I can't imagine people with little toddlers are going to have a good go at it. But I know. There's probably some expert out there who could figure it. But that was it. There was my experiences. Yeah, sure. It doesn't hurt. I'm sure my heart rate went down. I recommend if you got the time, go ahead and do it. But maybe when I'm in the nursing home, I'll do it. When I'm sitting there because my legs don't work anymore or something, then I'll do it. All right, let's go to the super chats. Martin Vandersalm, €6. Just go for walks, hikes, and runs without music or podcasts. That's your meditation right there. Yeah, that's what Schopenhauer did. And that is the closest I get to calm. I'll be charging up a hill or a mountain. I think that's about as much as I get successfully for meditation. Cynic in Chief, our van life agent in the field. $5. Meditation is great and good on the brain, unless you're Cappy. Yeah, it could be, right? Like, oh, this is great for certain types of dogs, but that breed of dog over there, that's going to kill them. Yeah, this is a good doggy treat, but don't give it to that dog. Also, I made the final home equity loan payment yesterday. I'm back to being debt-free. Bravo, Cynic. Bravo. Although we were never really worried about, I mean, you guys don't know Cynic maybe personally. I do. He's a very incredibly responsible, hardworking IT STEM guy. He was also very frugal, and he still does van life. So wouldn't it be, where have all the good men gone? Right Rider, 25 for $2. Tennessee canyons are just as deep, but trees everywhere. Ah, good observation. You are correct, sir. Vlad Elkins, $2, just sent you some super chats for the other. Thanks, Chad. Today's super chat donate. You guys ready? You guys want? Let me tell you about lifestyles of the rich and famous, or the middle income. Let me tell you about the lifestyles of the pampered double income no kids bachelor. Let me tell you where today's super chat donations go to. What luxury frivolous purchase will you purchase today? We're going to get AAA batteries. That's what we're, and I used Raymond Thoughts and Minds, because I can't use my own Amazon affiliate link. So I used his. And I bought the wrong type of batteries. I got AA, I needed AAA. So that's the excitement today. After I go through a bunch of videos I got to do, then we're going to go buy AAA batteries. This is the life you get to look forward to when you finally become self and remotely employed, ladies and gentlemen. Dre, $2. Cappy meditates by kicking talks and power. No, I don't. Dre, $2. Cappy's happy place is a BLM ride at the Carlsons. Oh, would that be awesome to see a BLM riot go in there and just torch the Carlson school, just go into the university campus? I mean, not necessarily just the Carlsons, but like have leftists fighting, having true poor leftists just tear up rich, pampered academic leftists' little place of work there. Oh, that'd be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Dre, $2. Cappy's too short to heaven. It's too short to have an inner self. Dre again, $2. Cappy's just mad that hiking isn't a legit hobby. Dre again, $2. Poverty during Cappy's youth made it hard. Yeah, it did. It did. It did. I'm not much of one to believe in therapists, right? But there's Dr. David Maloney, histherapist.com. He's book solid. He's a client of mine. He says, do you think I could do my own therapy thing? I'm like, yeah, it's not going to cost you. I mean, a website and a corporate entity, sure. But no, I think it was booked solid in a year. But, and this goes for a lot of you guys too. Because we're all lied to and and you wasted all your time. But, you're finally achieved stability, right? I'm out of Maslow's lower levels of hierarchies of needs, but you stay so long in it, whether you were born into a poor family, broken home, fights, crime, all that. Then you get into college, then it's a poverty and then debt and slept a bit, right? And you come out of it, and you don't come out of it like that. You slowly come out of it. Like all of a sudden, one day you're like, wow, I'm financially stable. Some neurologists can tell me the appropriate term, but the brain cells or the nerves that normally were the ones that receive dopamine and happiness, those have got to be fried. I don't think they work anymore, right? I don't get like, oh my God, I'm so excited and happy. I should be ecstatic. I should be fucking ecstatic. And I'm just like, what problems? It's like whack-a-mole. I've been whacking a mole for so long, like a fucking drummer. And now the vast majority of moles have been whacked and broken, but there's like the occasional one, like 1,000 miles away, like, I'm gonna get hit. Like I'm sitting there with a sniper rifle, like, yeah, you can set the gun now. Set it down. Relax. The whack-a-mole's done. Well, there's one over there. Yeah, I'm not. You don't know to leave the whack-a-mole machine. It's hard. It's hard. I make hiking, obviously, playing poker, right? Those are. But to get happy and excited again, you're like, okay, how are you going to fuck me over now, right? That's been everyone's experience, pretty much, right? I think I'm not alone on this. Like every proposition to you since you were a kid was a bait and switch, fuck you in the ass lie, right? Whether it was college or value systems, or the most important thing is the way you were born and just be yourself, right? All these lies. So anytime there's a proposition about, hey, you might like this, will I? Yeah, what's your angle, asshole? It's just 100% suspect or suspicion, and I don't trust you. And even when you're in the middle of it, you're like, where's the sucker punch coming from? Where's the hey? Like and I'm not wrong. I'm not irrational, right? I just did a video yesterday about how Vegas, how they're just adding fees, just hidden fees. They just add I'm not insane. I'm not wrong. You're crazy. No, I'm not. I'm not. You see, half. It just, man, I miss booze. I miss booze. Drake, $2. Cappy needs to get over it. Oh, never mind. Oh, Drake. Mark, $2. Bucks. Lots of successful people are depressed. You can't. You have to go through a galvanizing process to get successful, especially coming out of poverty and becoming financially successful. Or for those of you who went to war, right? I'm not saying working security or living in basements is anything like combat. I'm not saying that, but you go through this environment that galvanizes you and you come out of that completely changed. You're not some 14-year-old kid who just wants to play his video games and get his dick wet. You're kind of, where's the sniper? what you're constantly threat assessing. So you could be successful, but the process that got you to get there destroys your ability to enjoy that success. It sucks. It fucking sucks. If you went up to me when I was 18 with the situation I got now, I don't even necessarily mean the job or anything, like, here are these finances, I would be like, holy fucking shit. I could eat Subway sandwiches until I'm dead. I don't have to, I can sleep. I guess that's what it is there's more, maybe that's why the wise people say there's no happiness, only peace and contentment. I got that. I get good sleep. I'm relaxed. I don't worry about money as much as I used to. But there's no like zippity doo dah, zippity. Like the only way I got that was when my nieces and nephews were like 2 to about 9, because they're so excited about things. They want to, and you can like show them something. They think, oh, that's amazing. And you're like, oh, I'm so glad you like the kid, $5 you feed this kid full of sugar and they think you're the greatest thing ever. You're like, yeah, damn right, I'm the greatest thing ever. I'm Uncle Aaron right here. Here's some money. Go play. Or Ivy the dog, right? The dog of no real value, right? You can find some joy. Look at this dog. This dog will lie on its back and bathe in the sun. I'm like, man, this fucking dog knows everything, man. Look at that dog. That dog had no problem meditating. That dog, holy shit. The dog of no real value. She just go out there and lie. Really, her paws to me, she just lie in the sun. I'm like, dude, can you bottle that up and sell it for $1 trillion? Like, how do I be like you? Yeah, but removing external creatures, unto yourself. You know what makes me content? You know what? Getting more work done. That's what makes me like, I feel okay now. I got rid of the guilt. Now I can enjoy Like a Dragon, the man who disappeared himself. It's a great video game. Like today, I'm going to do these videos, right? Then I'm going to go get some AAA batteries with all your generous super chat donations. And then I'm going to go clean out the garage because I found a centipede this big and it turned out that it's a poisonous one. I'm like, we're getting everything out of this garage. And then, and only then, after that's all, then I'm going to go probably for a hike, maybe the gym. And then and only then, I will maybe go to a bonfire a buddy of mine is having and relax and enjoy. But there's none of that. You guys remember the first day of college? Like, I'm going to get laid. This is great. Oh my God, I'm finally out of the house. Remember how I've never, ever returned to that level of hope and optimism. That was it. That was the peak of hope and optimism. It just went all fucking downhill. Oh, Dre, $5. Acknowledging my morality and expecting the worst from others, especially to screw me over, helps me relax. As weird, but here's what that is, Dre. Here's what that is. You figured out the game, and you're making progress, right? It finally makes sense. What it's identical to, Dre. I don't know how much time because you're overseas. It's the endorphin hit I get when I diagnose what's wrong with my car or motorcycle. I fix it and the engine fires up. You're like, I did it. But it's you figured out how society works. You figured out the rules to the game. So going forward, you could fix it again, or in this case, not get screwed over again. That's what it is. You figured it out. And figuring out, now we get into deep philosophical things like, what do you like? I like not a spotless home, but I really enjoy having not a single piece of clutter. I'm not washing things down with a fine tooth comb or brush, but I do like having, not a single cobweb in my garage. I like, what else do I like? I like having my house, uh, the interior optimized, I guess, visually, like the theme I got. It's like looking at a painting. I'm not saying it's a work of art, but these colors are calming to me, and that's a great whatever lamp I put over there. I this is very calming and relaxing. Um, but yes, I can understanding how things work. Not only calming and relaxing, but it can actually bring you joy. Like, you see the meme of that guy, like, I'm putting my girlfriend at the center of my world, and we're all laughing because we know how it works, right? We know. You guys see that on Twitter? Dre, $2 being stranded while deployed changed me. Yeah. Well, every experience is going to change you, unless it's the same experience over and over again. But yeah, every new experience, your life cannot help but change you. I remember, again, not military, but having to work the night shift from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., you're alone the entire time. That definitely changed me as an 18-year-old man to a 19-year-old man. 18-year-old me and 19-year-old me are that's probably one of the biggest changes you'll see. Dre, $2. Cappy needs AAA batteries for his butt plug. Uber noob, $5. I got a nice message from a hot chick with big cans. Writing you from a restaurant, enjoying lunch. Going to work out later. Feels pretty good. Good. Sure, was it really? Like it's not a bot. Dre, $2. Having a very dark sense of humor makes me. Yeah, it does. Well, you look at a lot of the greatest comedians. They did not come from easy backgrounds. They are very dark. Bill Burr, Richard Pryor. Um, who else? I'm trying to think of some. They're you can't have a privilege like Amy Schumer. You can't grow up in an easy, privileged life and be funny. It's not funny. But God, who was it? It wasn't Bill Cosby. God dang it, that's gonna bother me. Anyway, all right. Dre again, $2. Listen to Coach Greg Adams will make Cappy happy. I don't listen to him that much, actually. I don't. When he talks about pencil skirt girls, I do. But I think I speak for all the guys in the Red Pill community. We don't listen to each other all that much because, well, we kind of know, and it's our job, and it's like, well, I'm going to go and do it. Unless someone comes up with something really like, oh, that's interesting. This is why I listen to Thinking Ape. I will listen to him religiously because I think he is on the forefront of many thoughts, and he's an incredibly clear and succinct writer and speaker. So there's no ambiguity. And I do like Raging Golden Eagle. I really enjoy him. He's funny. You guys should listen to him. The year minus 3. The Whamans. All right, that's it. More on the way. See you guys later. Toodles.